Alright lads, CFC Vlog here and welcome to another episode of the weekend preview. If you don't know what this series is, then it's where I predict the 10 Premier League results and the Charlton fixture for this weekend, hence being called the weekend preview. And I'll just get straight into the predictions. Starting off with Manchester City versus Everton. Obviously City losing last week. Everton, I believe, picking up a win again. Yeah, beating Newcastle 3-2. But City will look to bounce back strong. At the Etihad is always a half race to go and get all 3 points. It's on 1-1 draw. Next game is Cardiff versus Newcastle. I believe Cardiff picked up the win last week or drew. Can't quite wait. I've got notes. Maths. Cardiff won last week, 2-1 against Fulham. But I still predict Newcastle to pick up the 2-1 win. I just have a good feeling about Newcastle. Obviously, Ben Arthur's in very good form. Remy scored a bit. I mean, he scored like 2 a couple of weeks ago, so I don't know how he's been doing since. But he hasn't scored. That's all I know. But I still feel like they've got the quality to see off Cardiff. Next game is Fulham versus Stoke. I did 1-0 win for Fulham. Not really much to say about that game. Next game is Hull versus Aston Villa. I did a 2-0 win for Aston Villa. Aston Villa looked very good against Man City last week. And if they can put off that kind of performance against Hull, then they'll have absolutely no problem. Because no offence to Hull, they're not as quality as opposition as Manchester City. And Aston Villa doing very well in that result. Next game, Liverpool versus Palace, and I just can't see anything other than just a spanking from Liverpool. I expect a 3-1 win for Liverpool. Not really much else to say about that game. It's kind of expected with Suarez back and whatever. Next game, Sunderland versus Man United. Obviously, Man United really need to be bouncing back really soon, and I think they will with a 3-2 win over Sunderland. Obviously, Sunderland still managerless, I believe. If I'm wrong, then tell me in the description below. But as far as I know, still managerless, and if Man United don't beat Sunderland, then they'll really be screwed. Next game is Norwich versus Chelsea. Did the 2-0 win for Chelsea. Obvious, really much to say about that game again. Next, Southampton versus Swansea. I did a 3-0 win for Swansea. Swansea are a quality team, and they're actually finally coming up against someone who they should be able to get a really good result out of. So they've had quite a lot of hard fixtures over the last few weeks. Next game is Spurs versus West Ham. I did a 2-1 win for Spurs. I think they've got more quality than West Ham honestly do. But West Ham will be stiff competition as they always are against teams. Next game, West Brom versus Arsenal. I did a 2-0 win for Arsenal. They've been really good. They've been in really good form. A good 2-0 win over Napoli midweek. And I believe they've got the quality to go on and just keep getting these good results in the league. Obviously Giroud in amazing form. Obviously all never out of form. Very good team. And now on to the Charlton result. I'm predicting a 1-1 draw, which is more positive than would have been if we end up losing against Nottingham Forest on Tuesday. I just know Ricardo Fuller's going to score against us. I mean, it's almost a certainty. Because it's just how it's going to work. There was an interview with him about how the board kind of pushed him and Danny Haynes out, so he's always going to go on and score against us. But it really does depend what Charlton turn up on the day. Does the Charlton in the second half against Nottingham Forest turn up, or does the Charlton that faced Millwall turn up? And they're two very, very different Charlton sides. If the Charlton the second half against Nottingham Forest Charlton team turn up, I could very much see us getting a win. If the Millwall Charlton turn up, then we'll get absolutely hammered. On the other great news, Jordan Cousins has actually signed a new 3-year deal, which hopefully kind of makes it so that he won't leave in January, which I was almost certain was going to happen otherwise. But yeah, it's brilliant that Jordan Cousins actually signed a new deal. So that was kind of short. Wasn't really much to talk about in any of those games. Not many interesting games, so there wasn't much to talk about. Very short video. So please like, comment, subscribe, follow me on Twitter, and I'll see you guys later. Cheers.